Hi guys, this is Oshi and this is gonna be just a quick video on how I use my ink pads, because there was a question about how I use them. And I don't have a deck that I'm currently edging because I finished everything, but I remember that I made this, well, you know, study, practice, whatever deck of Lenormand at some point last year. Why is it upside down? Whatever. And for some reason I didn't realize that it wasn't perfectly black on the edges, so it's kind of perfect to show what I do and how I do it. You need a piece of cleaning cloth, the more finer kind that you can use, and you know that you don't mind if it gets dirty, because most of the time when you edge a deck, especially with something like this is a very good one, by the way, the Wear Some Magic. This is the sage color. I use this for my Majestic Earth on top of with an antique color, so it's not exactly the same, but as hopefully you can see, this gives a really nice green color. But because it's a more spongy type of ink pad, it definitely leaves a residue when you push a card. Let's show it on the bottom box. Like if you do it like this, I don't know if you can see, I don't think you can see, but there's a residue, you know, and if you don't wipe it off, then it's gonna stay on the card itself, and that's just not something that I like. I don't think people like that, and most people might not know that you need to do that, you know, wiping off. I follow Boho Tarot's tutorials, so I know I learned everything from her. So if you follow her, then you know this is nothing new. I had this Versafine Onyx Black, and this is more of the spongy type, and unfortunately this is not something that I can suggest because it doesn't really dry and it likes to smudge on cards. So if you have this one, it might work on some cards, but on a more plasticky ones, I would suggest get yourself a distressed ink. This is the Black Suit. This has a different surface. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it feels more like a piece of cloth on top of the spongy kind. Not sure if I can show it, because this is more of the spongy one, this is more covered. I have zero idea if anything is visible, but if you can, get yourself a distressed ink and keep all your ink pads upside down, so the ink actually flows on top of the surface of the ink pad when you need to use it. So what you need to know is you always keep your cards up the front side up, so when you use the ink pad, you don't you know, especially it's more important with the felt tips, but I think with ink pads as well, there's less chance for you to ruin the upper part. And then once you're done, all you do is just quickly go through each side, and as you can see, there's some black residue on there. And then I don't stack them up, I lay them out to dry. I want to try, maybe I can show you what the difference is with this one. Ooh, can you see how much blacker this is already? I mean, this has more color, and if you have, see, I think it's more visible right now, how this side has a lot of black ink on top of it. And if you do that, I mean, I don't mind with this card, but with something like an actual tarot deck, you know, not something that I made, I would be really mad for all the black that's been distributed everywhere with something like this. So yeah, I absolutely do not recommend. And sometimes you can get rid of it if you're quick, but I scratched off the surface of this card when I was making it, so it's not, you know, that easy to remove it, but it's, you know, just my own little practice one, so I don't mind that much. But yeah, we are putting away the Versa magic because Versa fine, sorry, that's not very useful in this case. So yeah, all you need to do is just go through a few times, because if this is distress ink, it doesn't cover at you know, just one layer, but or one motion, but as soon as you go through it a few times, it will be good. And then find a clean space on the cloth and just do this. And I know it takes some time, but it's worth it, I think. So yeah, that's just how I edge my cards with ink pads. What I meant to say is that if you use something like the Onyx Gold, which I don't have, it's the same dewdrop line. I didn't know that there was residue from the gold, so I transferred that onto my Raven's Prophecy deck, which is now black with some speckles of gold, which I think looks really cool. But if you don't want to do, you know, you don't want color transferring to your decks, then be sure to use a clean one. Well, I hope this helps for you who, you know, are maybe worried to start edging with ink pads. I think I like them better because with felt tips I have a bigger chance to go under the card, you know, and just make a mark on the back, which I don't want to do either. So for me, this one works better. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and hope this was useful. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.